everyone, and welcome back to another video, the T on NPD and relationships. So, of course, before we get started, I want to invite you to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and come follow me as we discover our destinies. To my new subscribers and new followers, welcome. To my tribe and family at large, welcome back. Thank you for visiting my media resource and finding value in something that I have to say. And if you appreciate the content that I am bringing to you, why don't we let the YouTube community know by simply hitting that like button? It gives our tribe and our family right here the greatest opportunity to grow. So I want to draw your attention real quick to the community tab, y'all. We got some good stuff popping off in the community tab. We have the cruise information for August 2021. We will be taking a cruise to the Bahamas. I also have t-shirt information. The merchandise is also listed in the community tab. I have some great inspirational things in there from time to time. And also my fee schedule for life coaching. I am a certified professional life coach. And so the fee schedule is all the way down at the bottom of the community tab, but be sure to check that out. So in this video, yes, we are going to be discussing that back burner supply. Yeah, let's get into it. Now, the reason I wanted to bring the back burner supply is because I mentioned it in one of my videos. I believe last week, I mentioned the back burner supply. So I got a few emails and a few comments and talking about, the back burner supply. Let's elaborate on the back burner supply a little bit more. So, of course, you know that the narcissist is never going to be without supply. Okay. So if you are transitioned or you have just transitioned out of the relationship with the narcissist, probably came across this video, okay? Because you were trying to figure out what the heck that was that you were involved with. Yeah. Okay, birds, I can't stand them, y'all. Anyway, that back burner supply. Now, we know about the new supply, and I've talked about the recycled supply. They go and re-idealize supply or whatever, but that back burner supply base is just as treacherous as that narcissist is. And the reason I wanted to do an entire video on that back burner supply, because the back burner supply is usually that new supply that I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the back burner supply is just new supply to you. That back burner supply has usually always been there in the backdrop, in the picture. You just didn't know anything about it. Okay. Now, see, that back burner supply, listen, y'all, when I tell you this, that back burner supply knows the family very well. Okay. Usually the back burner supply knows the family very well. The family they are very familiar with that back burner supply. That back burner supply is usually introduced. Watch this, y'all. Usually introduced to you as a longtime family friend or some type of best friend to the narcissist, some type of childhood friend to the narcissist. This is how the back burner supply is usually introduced, okay? Now, you coming into the relationship, you don't know what's really going on. And when you meet the family, listen, the back burner supply, when you initially meet that narcissist and you're truly coming in as a person that, you green, okay? You don't know to any extent what's going on with this toxic behind family of birds. I said it and I mean it. You don't know what's going on. Now, see, when you are introduced, this back burner supply knows when you enter the scene. Okay, they know when you come onto the scene, because the family has communicated that mess to the back burner supply. So has the narcissist. Now, what I want you to understand is this back burner supply is going nowhere. And usually the back burner supply is just waiting to be promoted into your position and has been waiting for quite some time. Okay. And so the family has even probably told the narcissist on several different occasions in between new supplies. I'm talking about truly new supplies, supply like you. Okay, has probably told the narcissist, maybe you should settle with this person, maybe you should get with that person, because see, they already know that that back burner supply is just as trifling, okay, and is a doormat and gonna be used by the family. Now, don't mistake this now. That back burner supply is supplying the family. Trust and believe. Behind your back, when you in the narcissist, when you think when you going to work and that narcissist is out frolicking and doing their dirt, okay, they are hanging out with that back burner supply, reinforcing that future faking, trying to let them know that, when this situation is over with you all, that they're going to give that back burner supply an opportunity to get in. Now, that back burner supply is supplying the family too. You just don't know about it, okay? Now, why and how I know? Just think about some of the family functions that you've been invited to, that this longtime family friend was also invited to, but watch it, that you never met. Okay, bird, you never met the person. Okay, but then all of a sudden this person is showing up at the family functions, or they're being at least invited to the family functions. They may not show up, okay? But they are being invited. Now, the reason they're not showing up immediately, or just like right in the beginning of when you all are starting out, is because they are feeling some type of way that now someone else has come in and they were supposed to be promoted. They didn't get promoted this time around, but they're feeling some type of way. Okay, so now the narcissist is telling them they got to go over there and reinforce it, get that future faking going on with the back burner supply to make them stay in that position while they wreck your life. I said it and I mean it. Wreck your life is what I said, okay? Yes. And honey, because I already told you that they are about 15, 20 different kinds of freaking crazy, okay? This is how they get down. This is how they get down. So when they're over there reinforcing that future faking with the back burner supply, the family knows about that too, because the back burner supply they are in communication with the family. Now, I'm not going to say constantly, but every now and then you'll see the back burner supply show up on one of their social media posts and like the post, or they might comment on the post. See, that's how you know that the narcissist is engaging with that back burner supply. Now, here's the deal. The narcissist is going to always triangulate you with that back burner supply, okay? I mean, you may not have ever met them, and usually, if they are active with that back burner supply, you are not going to meet that back burner supply. But you will hear about them in a triangulation type situation. They're going to triangulate you with that person. Now, you're going to be sitting back, and I know you probably sat back and wonder, why in the world are you talking about this person? I mean, I hear y'all say stuff about the person, but I've never met them. And how come I've never met them? Now, here's the deal. As you continue in the relationship, okay? Now, you get to the devalue stage, you getting into the discard stage. Now you're hearing about this back burner supply more and more. Because see, the narcissist is really digging in. They're trying to destroy you at this point. And they're going to bring in that triangulation with that back burner supply, baby. They are going in. And if there are some family functions going on, some cookouts or family dinners or whatever, now you might see the back burner supply actually show up at one of these functions, because now the narcissist is highly active with this bird, okay? They're highly active with them. And so now they feel comfortable enough to bring them in, because, see, you got to understand, they got to keep that back burner supply with some type of hope that they are going to be promoted into your position. And the narcissist never has any type of intention of bringing that back burner supply up to your position. Why? Let me tell you why. Because that's the one over there looking real crazy. Okay? I'm talking about, listen, I'm telling you fellas, y'all don't need to worry about him. Okay? Because he over there looking real crazy. I'm talking about This is the one that's over there that's got all kinds of dysfunctions going on mentally and physically, but is stupid enough to sit there and wait on her. I'm talking about walking around with one low shoe and one high shoe. You know how they're getting around? Like, you seen folks like that? And I'm talking about, listen, got all their teeth pulled out of their head, and the dentures is too doggone big for their mouth. So they can't even eat, honey. They got to eat with the dentures pulled out. I'm talking about this one right here. This is what she wants because this is what she can control. I'm talking about looking so crazy. I already told you, looking like a doggone hound dog with long legs, okay? And you sitting over there looking your best, smelling your best, bank account is together. You making sure she got what she need, what she want. Well, let me tell you something. This is what they want. This is on the level of toxicity that family has going on. This person, this back burner supply is toe up from the flow up, usually beat up from the feet up. I already told you. Listen, let me tell you something. Ladies, these are the ones that I'm talking about usually, okay, that's looking like them two mountains that's done come together and made a mountain and a molehill. Do you understand me? I'm talking about wigs so tight, honey, them eyes is pulled back looking tiny. Up in here. This is what I'm talking about. This is that back burner supply that I'm telling you about. And I'm serious. Y'all walking around here looking crazy because y'all trying to figure out why in the world would they choose somebody like that over you, because they are not on your level. They had to work too hard to get you. This back burner supply that's over there with eyelashes so long, honey, they look like fans. And when they raise them eyelids back, honey, the eyelashes go all the way back here on the back of their head. Okay, this is what they want. Okay, they get locked up and tied up with them, honey. I told you already, looking like a Coke bottle, and honey, that's just a bottle. Done ate up their whole entire shape. Okay, you just done ate up your shape. Okay, the shape is gone. This is what I'm talking about with this back burner supply. This is the one that is without a shadow of a doubt gonna be right there, and they are just as toxic as that narcissist. They are just as toxic as that narcissist family. And let me tell you something, they are going nowhere, and they will sit up and skin and grin in your face. I said it and I mean it. And baby, they are trying to take whatever that, listen, because the narcissist is nothing anyway. Okay? They are nothing anyway. But see, you don't know that yet. You don't know that yet. You sitting there looking like, what in the world is this? Yeah, you are sitting there looking like, what in the world is this? Because that's just what it's looking like, a whole world. Okay? And to forget the small world, we're talking about a whole world. Look like they done swallowed a globe and 2 planets. Okay? Honey, let me tell you something. This is by design. This is by design. And when I talk about the new supply, this is what I'm typically talking about, is this back burner supply that mama, and I'm going to tell you something about that mama and that sister. Ooh, these birds. Okay, when I tell you they are in on it, I done told you, listen, I have told you time and time before, this is what they do. This is how they get down. So if you think that you are going to run this back burner supply off, this back burner supply is just as toxic. They are going nowhere. I mean, I just told you what they're looking like half the time. Listen, 99% of the time, that's what you looking at, okay? Somebody with about 45 different kinds of crazy, just like the narcissist and their family and everything. But see, honey, let me tell you something. You got to have me bent over several barrels. If you think that I'm going to find out what's going on with that and all of this triangulation that's going on, see, you got to keep your eyes open with a narcissist. You got to keep your eyes open, because the number one thing that a narcissist is going to do is they are going to triangulate you. That brings them tons of narcissistic fuel, and it's a sadistic type of fuel that it brings to them, and they get high off of it. So that's why they're going to always keep that back burner supply. They have to, because if they don't, then that's like that is something that helps to regulate the thought of what that back burner supply would do to you. Okay, I'm talking about thought fuel right now. The thought of what that back burner supply and them triangulating you with it gives them thought fuel, and that can help them sustain in periods of low supply when when it's a drought in the land. So they're gonna always keep that back burner supply, because you better understand something, baby. A narcissist is never gonna be without fuel. Okay? Never, ever going to be without fuel. And I'm talking about to the extent that a narcissist doesn't have a type. Okay? Let's just go ahead and keep it right there. Let's park right there for 1 second. They don't have a type. Why? Why doesn't a narcissist have a type? Because they're going to be with whatever is going to be with them. And it doesn't matter. Whatever kind of sex or whatever they into, honey, listen, I told you these birds get on my nerves. I told you they will try anything. So when you're listening, when you're thinking back over the relationship and you think about that back burner supply, this is what that back burner supply, this is the purpose of it, of that supply, and this is what they're usually looking like. And that back burner supply, honey, is like I told you, toe up from the flow up, is usually on the narcissist and the narcissist family level. The family know that they can use that supply. The narcissist know that they can use that supply. And all the narcissist does is goes back intermittently for reinforcement with that supply. And you'll see them showing up on social media with a like here and there. If you've heard about them, but you see them. And that's when you know that the narcissist is being active with that back burner supply that you never met. Okay? So what's your strategy? Baby, you know what I tell you. You better snatch that generator up out of there, honey. You better vacate the scene, baby. Okay? Because let me tell you something. Once you snatch that generator and once you make the necessary adjustments in the pocket, hello, come on here, somebody. You make the necessary adjustments in the pocket and you figure out what that was. Baby, you get up out of there. And I'm talking about you put your Jackie Joyner Kersey shoes on, baby, and you hit that track, and you get to running and never return. Because all it's going to ever do is get worse. And let me tell you something. As long as you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you better know that there is going to be some back burner supply, because narcissists cannot be without supply. You gotta tune in to your discernment and to that intuition, and you better know, trust, and believe, and you better trust that intuition like no other. Do you understand me? When your mind is telling you something, baby, that's what it is. I told you, that's your eyes and ears into the spiritual realm. So I wanted to bring this to you all and let you know what that back burner supply is about. Now listen, if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I wanted to make sure that I brought this to you all, let you know about this back burner supply. And until the next video, you know I love you, beautiful tribe. And until then, you all be blessed and highly favored. And I'll see you on the next video. Ciao, you all.